Democrats. Today is Wednesday, April 28th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Okay, so let's see. Today's going to be another one of those heavy ones. So sit back, kind of log in, get yourself settled. So every day I come, I want to talk about bills, elected officials, and elections. And so today I am going to talk about those things as well. So every day I make it a point to reach out to at least 3, if not more, Democrats, just to say, hey, how's it going? You got any info for me? Just to kind of stay in touch, so it's not just what I think, right? And I reached out to a guy that I used to talk to quite a bit when I was in Tulsa County. I still live here, but I'm not really involved in Tulsa County politics. And I asked him, hey, how you doing? And he said, oh my gosh, I'm so much less stressed now that 45 is out of office. And my response was, well, I wish I could say I'm less stressed. I guess I'm less stressed on when I think about national politics, but I'm more stressed when I think about local politics. Because it feels like our current legislature has declared war on Oklahomans. Now, I want to remind you, they are elected by the people. They're supposed to be representing us and passing bills that help us. And so I know I talked to a bunch of our Democratic legislators and I asked them, where'd you get the idea for this bill? Where'd you get the idea for this bill? And most of them tell me that, 80% of the bills that they put forth came out of their district. So when they're in district, they're having conversations with their constituents and saying, what do you care about? And they're like really granular issues, like Senator Hicks putting a cap on insulin, a monthly cap on insulin. That's a very real one that people feel every day. Making sure that if you get a personal license plate and you have the regular license plate, that they align and you only have to keep up with one day, so you're legal. Sounds silly, but it's a thing that came up in Representative Ranson's district. A couple of people in her district mentioned to her because they had, OSU plates or something like that, and they wanted. So she brought very specific, real issues that affect Oklahomans who she could name. The same thing for those other things, right? They can specifically name the Oklahomans in their district that they put the bill up for. That's who's supposed to be representing us, not folks who would declare war on our state. And I do absolutely, no hyperbole, I do feel like, I'm not ready for this one yet. I do feel like it's absolute war, right? So it's war on the voter. So they tried to make petition initiatives harder so that we could not participate in direct democracy, so that we, the voters, couldn't decide on a thing that we wanted to be put on the ballot on our own. They tried to make that harder. There were no fewer than 6 bills to make that process harder. They weren't successful this time, but it's not the first time they put it up, and I'm pretty confident it won't be the last time. Now we can put that one up. They passed a bill where you can run over protesters without fear of repercussions or penalties under the guise of protecting the driver. And then the governor most recently signed HB 2095, which is if you organize a protest, which is our constitutional right. If you organize a protest and something happens in that protest, they can charge you using the RICO statutes, which most of us know as the organized crime statutes. And in case you're wondering, what does it constitute? Like, what are they calling a riot? It's 3 people, three people. So you and 2 sisters can be outside talking loudly, and if something happens, they can charge you as if you are a mobster. That's war, right? We're going to run you over if you protest. We're going to make you a criminal who can't vote. And that's really important. This is, again, looking for ways to criminalize people. Once you become a felon, you can't vote until all of your time is served. And that's why I call it a war on the voter. Then there seems to be a war on just basic civility, right? So you guys know the deplorable comments, the colored babies, the comparing racism to abortion, and then Nathan Dahn, and I won't get into how disgusting his comments were, but whatever happened to decorum? Whatever happened to civility? The first two, there were no repercussions. They weren't censored or censured. They weren't taken off their committees. Nothing happened, really. And so that emboldened Senator Dahn, because he was like, well, nothing happens if we say horrible things. So I'm going to say horrible things, and I'm just going to say it was a joke. And so far, nothing has happened to him. I mean, President Pro Tem put out a 3-sentence thing saying, you know, we would want him to be better than that. Take his committees. Make there be some real repercussions. Senator Kim David said something inappropriate on the floor earlier in this year, and she got publicly censored. Feels like a war on women. She got repercussions. He has yet to get repercussions. That should not be okay. That should not be okay. So the women are suffering consequences. Women are being talked over on the floor. Women are not being called on when it's their turn. And then there's, you know, the 90 million and 5 abortion bills that basically are saying to women, you can't make the right decision about yourself or your body. The trans athletes can't participate in sports. Here's the thing. That bill was written up as the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act. There are people, I personally know people, there are people who transition from female to male as well. There is no protection of those folks. And so this is absolutely, you know, a war on women under the guise of protecting women. I'm just going to say, don't protect me so much. Back up off me. Let me handle me. And then there's a bill out there that's about the prohibition of discussing wages on your job. Yeah, I'm going to call that a war on women, because women are disproportionately paid unfairly. And so if I don't talk to my male counterpart about how much money he makes, he gets to continue to make more money than me. For shame. So we got the war on voters, the war on civility, the war on women, and just plain out war, right? Because we have all that you can come up with. Let's take a gun to the Capitol. Let's take a gun to school. Let's take a gun to city council. Let's make Oklahoma a Second Amendment sanctuary state. It's just war. I agree, Chairwoman Jensen. Stop protecting me to death. Just let me take care of me. Let me take care of me. And this is all coming from the small government party. This is all coming from the stay out. You know, the government needs to let me make my own decisions, unless I happen to be in the government, I guess. So I talk about bills. Those are the bills I wanted to talk about. I talk about electeds. I'm going to go back to the less stress side and talk about tonight is the State of the Union address. President Biden's going to roll out what he's done in the 99 days. Excuse me. And what he's planning to do for the next three and 3/4 of a year. I can't wait. He's putting money back where it belongs. There's a saying that you can tell what a man cares about by how he spends his money. And we've had the Infrastructure Act, the American families, we have the American jobs. He cares about America. He cares about getting our economy back on track, getting us back to work. I think it's awesome. I can't wait to hear what he's talking about. I will talk a little bit about the American Families Plan. It includes universal quality preschool for 3 and 4-year-olds, 2 years of free community college, a contingency to make sure that Americans don't have to spend more than 7% of their income on childcare. That actually allows people to go back to work. Women have been disproportionately affected by the pandemic because they've left the workforce because of childcare, right? They've left the workforce because of childcare. It costs as much to take care of their kids as they were making, so it didn't make sense to go back. Well, if we can reduce the cost of childcare, women can get back in the workforce. National Comprehensive Family Medical Leave Act, extending tax credits to the child tax credit, earned income tax credit, child dependent care tax credit, tax credit. All these things makes it, if you're a lower or middle income person, it's like getting a raise. If you can get help for it up front, you can afford to do more things. And then, addressing the teacher crisis all over America, but we really feel it here in Oklahoma. We have a teacher crisis. We do not have enough qualified teachers, and a lot of our districts have emergency certified teachers. And what the American Family Plan does is it increases scholarships to new teachers and teachers of color. It helps all teachers get those credentials that they need to move to the next level. And then he's also investing in teacher leadership programs. This is how you get America back on track, right? You deal with the issues that help us get out of the home, help us acknowledge, help us achieve economic growth, help us take care of our health, help us take care of our children. And so I am less stressed when I think about that. It's just when I move back to Oklahoma politics that it makes me a little anxious. So I want to talk about that. So my elected official today is President Biden, because he's doing great things. The elections that I want to talk about are the same elections. This Saturday, we're just a couple of days away. This Saturday are CD conventions. Your convention either starts at 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. Go out to our website, check it out. All of them either have a website or a Facebook page that you can go out, register, and find out all of your details. So that's this Saturday, CD conventions. May 11th and June 8th are days to vote on propositions in your community. So please be aware of those. Start doing your research. At least the May 11th ones are out now. So you can go read those, study up, know how you want to vote. And then on June 12th, the state convention. It's where we decide on who our leadership is for our state party. Chair, vice chair, secretary, and treasurer, and then our affirmative action positions. So stay involved. This is how you get involved at the grassroots level. This is how you make decisions about where our party is going next. So I hope to see you at a convention soon. Reach out, go out to our website, make sure you're registering voters, make sure you're staying in touch. A lot of things planned for this summer. You guys have a great one, and I'll be back tomorrow at 4:15.